Today, when we're multiplying these rationals, these are the steps. I'm going to do different steps from this. Your first step is to always factor if you can. Step 2, multiply across. Last step, simplify. These are my steps for you. Let's try it with an example. Can I factor anything here? Yes or no? I can't do an eye chart here. The only reason I can't do an eye chart is because I don't have an x squared with a number. This is the only time you use an eye chart, when you have a squared term along with a number. We don't have that here. So we're not going to even factor. Now we're just going to multiply across. So guys, grab your calculators. What is 24 times 30? $720, thank you. And then I have an x cubed. That's the numerator. Let's do the denominator. What is 50 times 8? 400. I have an x times x squared. What do you think that will become? X cubed. Perfect. That was step number 2, multiply across. Now we're just going to simplify. Those cancel out. Whenever you have like 720 over 400, when they both end in zeros, the zeros can also cancel out, okay? We'll do with 72 over 40 instead of 720 over 400, okay? All right, so it looks like my answer is 72 over 40. But if you leave it like that, you would get points off. Why? We can simplify this. We can divide this by 8 and divide this by 8. 72 divided by 8 is 9, and 40 divided by 8 is 5. So this is our final answer. Example 2. Can I factor here? No, you only factor when you see something like this, x squared minus 9. You have a squared and a number. Or if you have like x squared minus 3x plus 4, we have a squared and a number. This is the only time you do the eye chart. Otherwise, we do not do the eye chart. Okay? So here, let's multiply across. I have 4. I have x to the 4th. How many y's? 3. For the denominator, I'm just going to put the number in the front. And I'm just going to go in alphabetical order. I'm going to put the x's first. How many x's do I have? So this should be x squared since I have 2. And then y cubed. Now we're going to simplify. These y's cancel out. How many x's will I have left over, and where should I put it? I'm going to have 2 x's left over. Will it be in the numerator or the denominator? Yep, it'll be an x squared. Let me draw you what this looks like. This is 4 x's on top, 4 x's on bottom. Those cancel. There's 2 left in the numerator. So that's why I wrote x squared. Okay, and then I have 4 over 2. This can be simplified, guys. These can both be divided by 2. Okay, 4 divided by 2 is 2. And I have an x squared. And what's 2 divided by 2? 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, so this is your answer. You don't have to write the 1. If you put it like this, that's fine. It just looks weird. All right, next, number 3. Okay, we're going to multiply across. Get your calculators ready. I need to know what 5 times 24 is. 120, perfect. And A's, how many will I have? 4. B's, how many? 1. C's, how many? 3, because I have 1 right here and 2 right here, so that's 3. Multiplying across, 12 times 15. 20. Thank you. I have A cubed and B 3, because I have, it's going to be B cubed, because I have 1 B here and 2 B's there. That's 3 total. All right, let's simplify. Instead of dealing with 120 over 180, let's cancel out these zeros and just deal with 12 over 18. Okay, the A's. How many A's will I have? Where will it be? The numerator. How many B's will I have? Where will it be? Denominator, 2 in the denominator. And nothing cancels out with the C. Okay, let me draw some pictures so we get it. A to the 4th, that's 4 A's. Over A to the 3, that's 3 A's. Those 3 cancel with those 3, leaving me 1 in the numerator. That's how I got this A. For B, I had 1 on top, 3 on bottom. Those canceled, I'm left with 2 on the bottom, which is why I have B squared on the bottom. Questions? Good. Okay, let's simplify this further. What can 12 and 18 both be divided by? 6. Good. Okay, 12 divided by 6 is 2. These variables stay the same. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. So this is our final answer. Next example, when you can factor, you factor. Which ones can I factor here? Yes, not all of them, because these don't have squares. Only when you have a squared with a number, a squared with a number, that's when you can do an eye chart. So let's do this one right here. I want 2 things that multiply to -1. What do I put down here? 0, because it doesn't have a middle term. So this will be 1 and -1. That's this first one. So I'm going to write this as k plus 1, k minus 1. This denominator, k plus 1, stays the same. Times k minus 3 will stay the same. For this denominator, I need 2 things that multiply to 3, add to -4. Good. -3 and -1 will multiply to 3 and add to -4. So my denominator will be k minus 3 and k minus 1. Just a side note, what's 5 over 5? What's 1,000 over 1,000? Okay, what's x over x? 1. What's k plus w over k plus w? 1. Okay, so when things cancel out, it's just 1, right? Okay, keep that in mind. You see this cancels with that? You see this cancels with that? This cancels with that. What's your answer? 1. Thank you. First class. Everything canceled out. Your answer is just 1.
So what if?
All right, next example is this one. I'm going to skip it because all you need to do is factor all of them and then just cancel stuff out. You guys can do that one. Number 6. Does anything cancel out? Well, first of all, can I factor anything? No, you can only factor if you have a squared with a number term. We don't have that here. So we're just going to multiply across. 5 times 3 is 15 with the x, and x plus 3 times another x plus 3. This is your answer. If you want to, you can write it like this. X plus 3, since you have 2 of them, what can I put? A squared. You can also write it like this. I saw some people also wanting to write it like, what's x times x? X squared. X times 3 is 3x. Then 3 times x is another 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. So you could also write it as 15x over this whole thing. These two just make a 6. So if you put it this way, all 3 of these answers are correct. Do whichever one you want. All right. You guys are going back to do example 5. I want you guys to flip to the practice and look at number 3. It says 5x minus 15 divided by 4x squared times x cubed divided by 6x minus 18. All right. Can I factor here with an eye chart? No? Okay, because I don't have any squares with the numbers, so no eye chart. Okay, what we're gonna do, guys, if you can divide, please do that. Let's look at here. What can these both be divided by? So you divide by 5. How did we do this in the past? Good. Perfect. Okay, these 5's canceled. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Whatever you divide by goes on the outside. It's important not to forget that 5, because we want to be able to go back. We don't want to change the numerical value. 5 times x is still 5x. 5 times 3 is still 15. We're not changing the value. We're just changing what it looks like, okay? So keep the 5 on the outside. If you leave the 5 out and just keep it like this is a whole different problem now, okay? So keep that 5 out there. Okay, let's do the other one. This one down here. What can these both be divided by? 6. So that means 6 will go outside. What's left over? 3. Good. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So guys, let's rewrite this problem. We wrote this top numerator as 5 times x minus 3. We didn't do anything to these items. So I'm just going to copy them down. And then this denominator, we wrote it as 6 times x minus 3. Once you divide, you'll be able to see what you can cancel out. Y'all see what cancels? Mm-hmm. Yep, x minus 3's cancel. What's left over is 5 with an x cubed over what's 4 times 6? 24 with an x squared. Can we simplify some more? What? So guys, let me draw you a picture. I have 3 x's on top and I have 2 on bottom. That cancels. What should be left? 5x over 24. Perfect. That's the answer. Y'all did a great job on this. So when you factor this top one, I need 2 numbers that multiply to -18 and add to -7. Those were -9 and 2. So that's this first one. You should have done an eye chart for this bottom one. To get -54, add to be -3. What was it? -9 and 6. Good, that works. This one up here, 2 numbers to multiply to -24, add to -2, which I'll get. -6 and 4, good, that works. Bottom one is 8 and 6, which I'll get. Good, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, so I'm just gonna rewrite all of these into my factors. Okay, this first one, we had x minus 9 and x plus 2. The second one, we had x minus 9, x plus 6. This one right here, we had x minus 6, x plus 4. This last one, we had x plus 4, x plus 2. All right, all it was factoring. Now we're just going to go through and cancel out similar things. That cancels with that. X plus 4 cancels with x plus 4. X minus 9 cancels with x minus 9. So what's left over is my answer. X minus 6 over x plus 6. This is your final answer. I saw several people do this. They canceled out the x's. You cannot do that. You cancel out factors. This will land you in math jail. If you look at the first page of y'all's packet, look at that picture. We cannot do this. If you have x squared plus 5x minus 6 over x squared plus 5x minus 9, if you have something like this, you cannot just go in and cancel. You can't do that. Okay? Don't do that.